Hey, Melanin Project. This is your Melanin Queen. We are back where we get real about everything. Today, we are getting real about love, growth, and hard truth that comes with trying to build a healthy relationship. Today, we're talking about something a lot of people feel but don't always say it out loud. When you're in a relationship that starts to feel different, um, you know what I mean? When things go from light and fun to serious and heavy or even confusing, when laughter turns into long talks and silence, and you start wondering if something has changed or if you did. Today episode is about recognizing those signs that might be time to step back and reevaluate the relationship. Not to end it necessarily, but to check in with yourself, because sometimes the hardest things is letting go, is realizing when it's time to pause and act. I'm still like, am I still at peace here in this relationship, in this certain situation? So grab your tea and your journal or whatever helps you think, and let's talk about what happens when love stops feeling light and how to tell when it's time to listen to your intuition. So, we're going to get deep into it, and we're not going to. I have a lot of notes written down, so I am going to be most of the time looking at my notes. So, if that distracts you, you don't have to watch, just listen. It's very important to sometimes just listen, because looking sometimes can distract you, because I do a lot of hand movement. I talk with my hands a lot. So I'm going to try to minimize that and just get straight to the point. So before I get started, I want to thank everyone for continuing to follow, share, like all the posts that I post. And we're going to keep this thing going. So let's talk about the signs. Let's talk about the signs, those little emotional shifts that whisper before they start shouting. The first one is when the fun fades. Remember when you used to laugh together over the smallest things, when spending time together felt effortless? Now it feels like everything turns into a serious talk, or you both walking on eggshells just not to upset each other. That doesn't always mean the love is gone, but it does mean the energy has changed. When the relationship stops being a safe space to live and breathe, that's usually a sign something deeper needs attention. So you have to pay attention to when things just get heavy, just everything is just heavy. Um, the second sign, you feel emotionally drained instead of filled up. You might still care deeply about this person, but being around them feels heavy. You leave conversations feeling tired or anxious instead of calm, and your body is telling you something isn't sitting right. Love shouldn't always be easy, but it should feel safe. Any type of relationship, friendship, relationship, anything that's outside of just self should feel safe. Because I know, number one, we have to make sure that we feel safe within ourselves first, and then anything outside of that should also feel safe. Third sign, you're always in fix it mode. Fix it mode, that really resonate with me. So every time, um, every talk turns into a problem solving session. You're trying to fix the communication, the tone, the distance, and you realize you haven't just enjoyed each other in the relationships. But when it starts to feel like work without joy, that's a signal it might be time to step back and reevaluate. Step back and reevaluate what you are really fighting for and why. That is a big question. Like, is this worth fighting for? If it is, let's see what we can do to fix it. to fight for it. The next one hits pretty deep. You start losing yourself. Maybe you stop doing the things that makes you happy. You silence parts of you just to keep the peace. You realize you are more focused on not upsetting them instead of being you. That's not love. That's survival, and you deserve more than that. So we tend to lose ourselves when we have a significant other. We stop doing the things that we like to do. We stop hanging out with friends. We stop, just sitting in the house alone and just having me time. We just forget about ourselves. It's not done consciously. We just want to make this work, want to make sure that that partner get the attention that they need, and so on and so forth. And last but not least, you stop feeling emotionally safe. When trust feels shaky, when you start questioning their intentions or even your own worth in the relationships, that's a huge, huge red flag. Love should help you grow, not make you second guess your value. These moments don't always mean the relationship is over, but they do mean it's time to pause, to breathe, to ask yourself, am I being loved in a way that brings out the best in me? That is a really, really deep question. Is this person bringing out the best in me? Or am I trying to be this perfect person so that they can feel comfortable enough or be this a better person to bring out the best person in me? Like, there's so many things that comes up when you're in a relationship. So now we're going to get into the reconnecting with yourself. Reconnecting with yourself, and this will be my closing encouragement. I want to leave you with this relationship advice, I guess, if you may. Relationships are supposed to add to your peace, not take away. When you start feeling more anxious than calm, more small than equal or the average or what you feel your worth is, that's the spirit nudging you to pause, not to blame or walk away too quickly, but to check in with yourself. Sometimes we evaluate the relationship doesn't mean it's over. It means you are ready for a healthier version of it. And sometimes it means you're realizing that loving yourself first is the only way. Either way is growth, and growth never means failure. So before you make any big decisions, ask yourself a few questions. And these are some questions that I want everyone to ask themselves, because I had to ask myself these questions as well. I understand that no relationship is perfect. No communication skill is right or wrong. Everyone is different. Everyone is an individual. So even though you communicate, it doesn't mean that I communicate the way you communicate or you communicate the way that I communicate. Sometimes we can stop and we can listen, but you so anxious to respond, it doesn't allow you to comprehend what is being said. Um, I struggle with that part. Um, I hear, if it's wrong, I'm cutting you off. No, we're not going into anything that's wrong. We're not going to say anything that you thought was said or that wasn't said. So I have a really hard time stopping, listening, allowing that person to say what they have to say, and just address it after the fact. So these are the questions. Do I feel emotionally safe with this person? So it's always go back And it your answers don't have to be spot on right away. You can write it down, write these questions down, answer them later, answer them when you think about it, answer it the next time you're with that person and when you leave that person. Am I being heard? Am I always explaining? Do I like who I am when I'm with this person? If nothing changed, could I still be happy a year from now? Your answers, again, don't have to be perfect. They just have to be true within yourself. Like, can't nobody tell you what your answer is. You have to look within deeply into yourself and come up with every answer for those questions. Um, I have like this couples talking point game that is really cool. It's really cool. Either way, it's gonna be upside down. And some of the topics I can't really read it because I don't have my real glasses on, y'all. But I'm gonna switch over to the real glasses because I gotta see. So they have questions like to get to know you. What what would be your absolute perfect day? And you would ask your partner this, and then they will ask you in return. Um, they have what boundaries can we set to protect our relationship from being damaged by technology? Technology meaning social media, just all this internet crap. They have questions like, what's the best piece of advice that you've ever been given? If you wrote a romance novel or erotic fiction, what what who your pen name will be? Oh God, what would your pen name be? Um, so it has you reflect on a lot of things. There's a lot of cards, a lot of different very deep questions, very surface questions, childhood questions, fun questions, funny questions, like just overall a lot of questions that can help rebuild or get to even know your partner. Then I bought these a while ago. Never used them. They are date idea capsules. So each little can y'all see? Ah, little pill has a note inside. So the green one is no money. Blue one, less money. Pink, more money. So it gives you ideas if you don't have any money. It gives you ideas if you have a little bit of money, and it gives you ideas if you got some big money. So you just pick what color you want that day. You might want to just stay in the house, or you just don't want to spend no money. So you pick it. So I think this is a really good idea. I did not want to open them because I don't know how hard it'd be to put them back in. So I'm not gonna do that. But that is the idea. I got these off Amazon, and I also got this card game off of Amazon. So I want to thank you for tuning in to Melanie Speaks. If this episode hits home for you, take time this week to reconnect with yourself. Go for a walk, journal your thoughts, sitting in silence, and listen to your heart. Remember, peace isn't found in fixing everything. Sometimes it's found in finally listening to what your soul been saying all along. Until next time, take care of your heart, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Peace.